Good morning, everybody. We said we're taking a week off, and we sort of are still. But anyway, this morning I had a guy roll in here, all serious and strict, and we're going to keep our distance. Bylaw officer, apparently. This morning I had a guy roll in here, all serious and strict, and we're going to keep our distance. Bylaw officer, apparently, and complaining. Well, he came here because of a complaint. Anyway, what we got here, he didn't like all this stuff parked here, and what we're doing here with all these fences. And this is a farm. You tell me you can't park farm equipment on a farm. Well, that's the bylaws, sir. Blah blah blah. Apparently you cannot camp on your own personal land. I mean, it's not our land, but it's our friends, and they said we could camp here. And I said, you can't camp. Nope, you can't do that anywhere. I said, well, out west it wasn't an issue. Well, that's out west. I said, okay, well, we used to farm 2 hours north of here, and it wasn't a problem. We had our same camp trailer set up on our land for family to come up there, and nobody ever had a problem with it. Well, that's up there. I don't know, maybe it's just this area that has a problem with it, but I find that strange. It is private property. There's the road. There's the lane. We're in quite a ways. Private property. I've got a trailer, a baler. I got the top of my cattle trailer. Camp trailer, they might have an argument there. The tractor, it's all farm related stuff. I've got this pasture here. He brought this one up too, because we've got this fenced off. And I says, you're telling me you can't fence a farm and have animals in it? That's the bylaws, sir. I just got to report what I see. Anyway, people like that just make me frustrated. And it's an eye-opener to us. It's one more reason why areas like this don't appeal to us. There's too many people here, too many people that get all up in a knot and get wound up when you're trying to farm and trying to live a good life, I guess. This is the country. This is not the city. If folks don't like this stuff, move back to the city. This is farmland. We're in the country. We're not in the city. And I fail to see why we can't have animals in a pasture. I'm sure I'm going to hear more from this feller yet. I should have maybe had my camera rolling then too. It would have been interesting. Yeah, there's nothing permanent here. It's all temporary fence. And there's animals eating grass as God intended in a free country. So I don't know what's going on. We're going to move this fence. It is admittedly right on the edge of the road, because I figured they might as well eat the grass in the ditch. I'm going to move that over a little bit right now. Probably still won't be far enough to please him, but that's what we're going to do. And we'll see where this goes. I imagine he's going to come back. He's going to report what he had seen to council or whoever he's got to talk to, and come back to us again. But I think that's quite strange when you pay taxes on a piece of land and you own the piece of land and then you can't even use it. That it seems quite alarming to me. This is supposed to be a free country. So I've had folks wonder before if it isn't cruel to dehorn the goats, and on some degree I would agree. Probably to some measure it probably causes a little bit of discomfort. But I mentioned in the video when I did it that it's to prevent them from getting stuck in the fence, because they do that quite a bit. And I got a good example of that today. This is the 5th time that this particular goat has had its head stuck in the fence. 5th time today, never mind yesterday. So this klutz here is persistently wanting to stick his head in there. The other ones have been doing it as well, but they can pull their heads back out. But because he's got his horns on the way back out, they get stuck like little harpoons, and he can't get out. And then of course he weaves in and then out and then in, so now it's stuck on there multiple times. It's quite a pain to get off again. Anyway, I will get him out and probably have to do it again today sometime. He ain't overly bright apparently. Hey everybody, just an update for that bylaw officer. He, I guess he carried through with his threat to hand in a report, which he's done. And apparently we're in violation of some sort of codes that states that no person shall you're not supposed to use a trailer for any kind of temporary or permanent accommodations, which we're doing right there. And why on earth they have a law like that, I have no idea. The rest of the stuff he was saying is basically nonsense, because none of that was reported. There's nothing in there about the farm equipment being here or the animals being here. It does state something about to the effect of our fence. We have to have it 33 feet off. There's a 33-foot road allowance, I guess, from the center of the road over. So we will move that right away. Well, as soon as I get around to it, I guess. I'm busy at the moment. But the rest, yeah, we're not complying with the fact that we are living in a trailer, which, again, is private property. I really fail to understand that. And if you drive around the township here, there is loads of people not complying, because even across the road here, there's 3 trailers. One at the first residence and 2 at the second residence, and apparently they get used from time to time as well. It basically means that you could never have family come up and sleep in a camp trailer on your property, ever. I don't think that's why they wrote the law, and I think they're, well, I don't know, this feller's just being the way he is, I guess. So we have until the 26th of this month to comply to that. Rather, the landowner here does, that we are friends here, and if not, I guess they're going to pursue whatever they're going to pursue. So he called them up, he did talk to them, and he has basically explained to them what our situation is, and that we are looking for a property, and we're not planning on staying here forever. We're essentially homeless, and we're working on a deal on a property. So hopefully I will soon have signed documents to state precisely that. What they have allowed, the lady he talked to, it was not the guy I talked to, she seems pretty friendly about the whole ordeal, and apparently she has a trailer on her place too. So anyway, we have to provide some sort of documentation to prove that we do have a deal in the works, and provide them with a closing date so they know when we will be out of here. Like I said, none of the other stuff matters. Our equipment, I am fighting a fly here. None of our equipment matters, our animals and all that stuff. It doesn't. The guy was just blowing smoke there. So we need to provide them with proof that we are closing on something soon, and otherwise we have only until the 26th of this month to comply with these orders, or else, whatever that means. I don't know. It doesn't really say. So I guess they would go to another step or phase or something. So the other thing, it does state you cannot live in a trailer temporarily or permanently. Doesn't say anything in there about a tent. So with that in mind, we could probably just close the trailer, pull out our tent that we have in there that we would also fit in, and set that up instead, and then we probably would be okay too. I don't know. It just seems quite ridiculous. Our freedoms are disappearing on a larger scale, but also on smaller stuff like this. I mean, as a landowner, you should be able to do whatever you want with your land, and if you want your family or your friends to sleep there, that shouldn't be against the law. I don't understand that. I think he's going to look into it some more, because like I said, there's loads of other trailers in the area here that people are using once in a while as a weekend thing, or on a more permanent basis. So anyway, be that as it may, it is what it is. We are working today on getting the baler ready to go. New disc line is going to show up here this week as well. And so I'm getting the baler on behind the tractor here, and we're going to grease it up and get it ready. I'm hoping to do some mowing this Friday, and then we would be baling on Saturday and wrapping. Might even mow on, depending on when the disc line shows up, I guess. If it comes early enough on Thursday, I might mow on Thursday, and then do our baling on Saturday morning, and get it all wrapped up. So kind of looking forward to that. I haven't had any field work for a while, so we are excited about that. But we want to get everything ready to go, make sure it's greased up, chains are lubed up, and kind of important stuff to look over. So that's what I'm working on right now, aside from thinking about possible eviction, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Also moving these fences for these animals. I don't know what I'm going to do with this pond, because these ducks, I mean, the 33-foot line would run right through the middle of the pond here somewhere. I don't know how I'm going to fence that off yet. The goats on the other side shouldn't be an issue. Whoop, right there. I can just cut a new path through the bush. As ridiculous as it is, I mean, what do they care if we're eating a few trees on the side of the road? Like, they come through here with their mower in the summer and mow them all down anyway. I don't think anybody cares. Basically, when he called, he asked, they said, listen, somebody made a complaint for whatever reason, and now they have to follow through on it. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. If they don't, then they are in non-compliance with whatever regulations that state that a person could complain. So, but this one here, I don't know what I'm going to do here, because somehow I got to get that moved into the middle of here somewhere. I don't know. We'll think of that through, and if I can fence right through the middle of the pond here, I don't know. Obviously, the electric fence isn't going to work in the pond. We'll see. We'll figure something out. We are getting ready for some field work. As I've said before, we got some mowing to do and some baling to do. Like my funny hat. Anyway, getting the baler ready to go. I got it all greased up yesterday, and just looking it all over. Lube the chains, grease all the nipples, and then I noticed inside the baler though, this drum here is wearing out. We've done some patching in the past up on top of here. Same sort of thing. That was 3 years ago, and I knew the whole thing was getting weak, so I can replace the whole tube. I don't recall now offhand what that cost, but it was not cheap. We decided to just fix it ourselves, and I'm going to do that now again. So I got to patch this guy up. I'm going to strip the steel here and lay them right across through here and beef that up. The interior is still strong. You got these plates inside here, and they're still tough. And the bar inside, so nothing wrong with that. It's just that the surface metal gets thin over time, just from use, lots of use. These side plates here as well, if I can show you. This guy, you know, everything, it gets thin over time. I don't know how many thousands of bales have run through this baler by now. So rather than spending the big money and getting it fixed, we're just going to weld it up. So what I've got, I cut these. I was going to go all the way across from the one side all the way over, but it's actually pretty sturdy on the outside, so I'm just going to go from this point over to this point, and I'll need at least 3 pieces here. It looks like the other side's got a hole in there too, so once I get this side done, I'll turn it around and check the other side. But these pieces I picked up this morning, and we're going to lay them right in there like that, and then weld. Now I remember from the last time that this old metal is pretty thin, so we'll see. We had quite a time getting it welded nice, but we'll give her a go and see what it looks like, and hopefully it holds up nicely. Okay, so I've got quite a bit patched up here now. There's 5 strips total that I put on. Take my gloves off here, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, there's 2 more on the other side. I think that's going to be sufficient. The rest looks like it's holding up. The welding is very bad looking. That's mostly just because of the thin material and poor grounding. and I'm having some issues with it for some reason today. It keeps shutting off on me. So anyway, it is working. So this welding here is not too bad, but some of this is pretty spotty, and it's so thin, I'm literally just spot welding it together. Yeah, the rest is holding up really nice, so I'm pretty happy with that, and I think that's going to last a long time. There is some bigger gaps there. I'm going to find some round rod to stick in there and bridge the gap, but all in all, it's just coming together. And should be ready for this weekend. Hopefully we can run some bales through her this weekend. So, yeah, anyway, the nice thing about having some tools to fix your own stuff.
Yuck. That's what it is. Where'd it come from?
Yeah, but I just found it crawling around.
Where was it?
Like,
Where did you find it? No, just tell Mommy. Where did you find it?
beside the water bin.
Beside the water bin. You were pretty excited, weren't you, when you found it?
Yeah, I wanted to tell Papa and you.
That's cool.
Really super duper.
Well, it's nice looking colors on it. But I'm still not a fan.
Did you find frog poop? Well, I still want to. Hey, what are you doing? This is what he's doing.
That is so gross.
Can we just chop his head off? Yeah, I want to hold it.
He's got...
Ew.
That is so gross. Alright, put them over on the other side. Watch your cars. Hopefully he doesn't come back.